My name is Riley, and I'm a 28-year-old housewife. Floyd, who I dated in college, proposed to me after I graduated from college, and we ended up getting married at the age of 22. At the time we were dating, Floyd was very kind and dependable, and he was such a handsome husband that the women around him could not leave him alone, and he was too good for me. After we got married, Floyd's attitude towards me changed. "Hey, ugly girl, what are you up to?" "Floyd, I've said it before, but I want you to stop calling me ugly girl. It sounds like you're bad-mouthing me, and I don't feel good about it." "What the hell? I'm just telling the truth. Ugly is ugly. Look in the mirror." "But I'm making it sound cute. It's my way of showing affection." "But what would other people think of this?" "These are just texts between me and you, so it's no one else's business." "You're right. I'm sorry. Also, I'm at home right now making your favorite roast beef." "Oh, I see. You're lucky to have me. Thanks to me, you could slowly become a good housewife." "Yes, it's all thanks to you." "I am grateful to Floyd, but..." "But what? Are you not satisfied?" "It's not that, but I want to get a job." "Huh? Why do you want a job? Are you trying to say we can't live off just my salary, even though I'm working so hard?" "That's not what I mean. I can live well enough, but I need cosmetics and clothes, so I want to earn my own money." "Why does a housewife need cosmetics and clothes? You're in the house all the time and you don't meet anyone, so you don't need them. Or are you having an affair?" "Of course I'm not having an affair, but I also like going out shopping, taking walks for exercise, and going to lunch or something with friends. I want to earn money so that I can spend freely for those times. I feel bad about spending your money all the time." "Don't do it. If you go out with that look on your face, people will be surprised. You can do your shopping online. There are online supermarkets. You can even exercise at home. And hang out with your friends? You're just gonna go talk smack about me, aren't you?" "We don't do that. We're just having fun talking about what's going on and go out together." "No, you don't need to go do that. It's a waste of lunch money. If you want to chat, make a phone call. You're a housewife. You're supposed to stay at home and take care of me." "But the clothes I bought before we were married, they're already frayed. I don't even have clothes to wear when something happens." "Well, we'll order you some." It's cheap, so it's okay, but I just want you to let me choose it myself." "You not only have a bad face, but you also have bad taste. So I'll pick it out for you. Clothes that match your ugly face. I'll buy them for you with the money I earned, so you'll be happy, won't you?" "Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to receiving my clothes." I became a full-time housewife right after Floyd and I got married because he extremely dislikes me going out. When I became a housewife, Floyd was the only one I could talk to at any point. After being told by Floyd I was ugly for 5 years of marriage, I was completely brainwashed by Floyd and began to follow what he said. The skirt that Floyd had ordered for me was also in bad taste, and I really didn't want to wear it, but I thought at the time Floyd's taste was better than mine. 1 month later, "Hey, what's with the food this morning?" "Huh? It's the same as usual." "Tell me what's on the breakfast menu." "Toast, omelet, sausage, salad, and fruit." "The omelet? You overcooked it." "Huh? No way. Yesterday's omelet was better. Make it the same as yesterday. You can do it if you're a housewife. You have time." "I'm sorry. Tomorrow I will try and serve the omelet I made yesterday." "Today's was like a store-bought omelet. It tastes bad. Yesterday's was like my mom's omelet, and it was delicious." "I'm sorry. You know, my mother left my father and raised me on her own. Even though she was busy with work, we never skipped a beat on the housework. Made lots of breakfast, and you, unlike Mom, are a full-time housewife, so you should be able to do that." "Alright, I'll try my best." "My mom's omelet is the best in the world. You should learn to cook from her." "Okay, I'll ask her for some help." "Hey, the answer is yes, sir. Hey, the answer is yes, sir. How many times do I have to tell you?" "Yes, sir, I'm sorry." "You know, we've been married for 5 years, and your cooking is still not up to my standards. You should be happy I haven't divorced you." "Divorce?" "Of course, a wife who doesn't cook well is the worst. I have a job, I have money, and with my looks, if I left you, I'd be able to find a wife in a heartbeat. Oh, no, don't tell me you're divorcing me. You can't live with yourself if you divorce me, can you? No job, no housework, and you're hideous. Really, you can't marry anyone but me. You should be thankful, because when I'm gone, you'll have to live a sad, lonely life by yourself. Yes, thank you. If you don't want to get a divorce, then you better listen to me from now on, you understand? Yeah, I understand. A few weeks later, Floyd, I don't have the living allowance that I always get in the envelope. Do you know where it is? There was $500 in there. Oh, that money? I needed that money today, so I took it out. I needed that money because I have to pay the rent, so can you send it to me? Just try and fool the landlord or something. You can do that, right? No matter how incompetent you are. I went to the landlord earlier and he told me that we hadn't paid last month. And last month, Floyd, you said you would take care of the rent payment, right? What happened? Oh, yeah, I forgot about last month. I actually used the money for gambling. Gambling? So what happened to the money? I lost it all. What? So you need money for 2 months worth of rent? Yeah, but I can't pay this money back. What are you going to use it for? Is it more important than rent? I earn this money, so it's up to me how I spend it. Up to you, but we'll have no place to live. Shut up. Going out to dinner with a woman. A woman? Does that mean you're cheating on me? Why do you think just having dinner with a woman means I'm cheating on you? You're so stupid. She's a model. She's got a great body and she's a beautiful woman. And she agreed to go out to dinner with me. But $500 for one dinner? You know, unlike you, I can't go to chain restaurants or cheap restaurants. The two of us are going to a fancy restaurant. Of course, $500 is not enough. I'll have to use my credit card too. Oh, no, you mean that just in a few hours, you're going to spend more than our rent money on another woman than me? What? You got a problem with that? I don't care if you divorce me. I'll serve the divorce papers anytime. You're rocking the boat like that again. What the hell? If you have something to say, say it. More importantly, what should I do about rent? I don't have any money, so you'll have to manage it on your own. See ya. Hey, Floyd, wait! I ended up contacting my parents, who were against my marriage with Floyd, apologized and borrowed some money, and I was able to pay 2 months' rent. They were understandably very angry with Floyd. Floyd came home in the morning in a good mood, wearing a woman's perfume on his body, and did not say a word about the rent. I woke up and started preparing for a divorce. 3 weeks later, hey, do you have any money? You're definitely hiding some from me, huh? You've been giving me very little cash, and I'm only allowed to use the family credit card for shopping these days. I hardly get any money from you. Why are you talking to me like that? Do you have something to complain about? I'm not complaining, I'm just stating the facts. You're a useless woman, you really are. I'm living a life of not leaving the house just like you told me to. If I had to do this, I should have let you work outside the house. Anyway, about my job, I was laid off. I was outed anonymously for embezzling company money. Well, that's too bad. What's with the attitude? You're my wife, right? 'Cause you embezzled money to go on dates with other girls. Well, I don't care that I got fired. I'm a good worker, so I'll go to another company right away. I'll make a clean start, and I'll clean up my relationship with you too. I don't want a wife who isn't beautiful. What's with you? Normally you'd be all over me, saying you don't want a divorce and all that. Let me think about the future and all that. Wait a minute, you can't live without me. You don't have a job. You're so ugly. You'll never be able to work outside the home. You won't know that until you try. Hey, what do you mean? Are you even listening to me? The next day, you didn't come home yesterday. Where are you? Oh, I spent the night with a woman. You're proud to declare yourself unfaithful, aren't you? You know, I'm popular, I'm handsome. You wouldn't understand. You must be so grateful to have a handsome man like me as your husband, right? If you have a problem with that, I'll go to the city office and divorce you right now. I'm just about to file for divorce. Huh? You've shown me the divorce papers many times before. They were all filled out, so I can file them at any time. Wait a minute, why are you filing for divorce? You've shown me the divorce papers many times before. I don't see a problem with it. Calm down. That was just a joke. I can't believe you took it seriously. A joke? Can you tell the difference between a good joke and a bad joke? Oh, and you can't distinguish between the two, and that's why you got fired. You remember. I'm not going to pay you alimony or anything. I don't want any money from you. As long as you divorce me, I'm fine. Hey, you. How are you going to live from now on? You shouldn't be able to live without me. I was indeed a stay-at-home mom, just like you said. For the first 3 months, that is. Because once we got married, your attitude changed. But I secretly had a job in case anything happened. A secret job? What are you doing? I was doing translation work. Just enough to keep up with the housework. But there's no way I can make a living with an inside job. I had a job interview the other day. When did you? I told you not to go outside, but you betrayed me. I didn't go outside. It was an online interview for translation. Online translation? It's a convenient world, isn't it? Thanks to you, I got a job without leaving home. While I was out at work? But at first, I was afraid to show my face. You always told me I was ugly. But the female interviewer told me I was beautiful, and she said my husband brainwashed me. I didn't do that. I was just telling the truth. Maybe you thought it was flattering? Still, there are things you can say and can't say about a person's appearance, right? I'm sure you were painfully aware of that, aren't you? What? You think I know? You had plastic surgery. What? How did you know that? Did my mom tell you? Well, when you complained about my omelet, I called your mother and she happened to think you told me. I told her so much, and not to tell anyone. You embezzled money from a company. And you needed the money to not only play with girls, but also to maintain your plastic surgery. Yes, I needed the money for plastic surgery. Were you the only one who snitched on me? Yes, because you were irresponsible with your money. I thought it was weird. And I found the credit card statements. You're having a lot of fun undermining me. Your husband. I'm not trying to put you down. You embezzled money, so I had to report it. Besides, don't you think it's not a good idea to comment on other people's appearance, especially when you're the one who got plastic surgery? I've just been stressing out about my appearance, and I took it out on you. You know how much it hurt me, don't you? Riley, I'm sorry for everything. Please forgive me. Oh, and hey, you mentioned not only my appearance, but also my cooking, right? Mom's omelets, right? They're the best in the world. Your mom didn't cook them. They were store-bought. What? You're lying. That's not true. When I asked your mom for her omelet recipe, she laughed. She said she was so busy that she just bought them from the store. But she was always cooking and stuff for me. Oh, I thought you would say that. She said she made you eat store-bought foods from the convenience store and homemade lunches from the man that she was dating at the time. Lunches full of love. Convenience store food for me? Special lunches for her lover? No way! I used to make you homemade omelets and such with lots of love, but I guess it didn't taste good to you. I'm leaving this house soon, and you should pack up your stuff in the room. You're leaving? Let's move in together. Even if we get divorced, we can just be roommates. We can split the rent and utilities in half. Besides, you'll even regret the divorce. I'll never live with you again, even if I go into debt. Besides, I hate you already. I hate you so much. I will never regret the divorce. How could you say that? I've been told so many things from you, and I've had enough. Besides, I've decided to move back to my parents' house. My parents said I can stay there until my life is stable. Even if I live alone, you're still going to be there. I thought you were estranged from your parents. The last time you didn't pay the rent, I apologized to my parents and borrowed the money from them. That's when we started contacting each other, and my parents told me to leave you. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Go back to your mom. After what you just said, I don't know if I can go there. Well, you're handsome and popular, so why don't you just go to the one of many women's houses? That's the thing. They found out I was embezzling money and they stopped talking to me. Huh? Didn't you say you stayed at some woman's place today? I was lying. The truth is, they turned me down again today. I see. Well, good luck with that. And paying back the money you embezzled. Wait a minute, Riley, please. You're all I've got. You're so beautiful and you're too good for me. So let's start over, okay? It's too late. Okay, bye. I'm off to file the divorce papers. Afterwards, my ex-husband has since borrowed money to pay back the money to the company and has been working multiple jobs to pay back the interest. I was initially living at my parents' place, but I left the place where I lived with my ex-husband and went abroad to work as an interpreter. At first, I was afraid to meet people, but when the people around me told me that I was beautiful, even if it was just to flatter me, I became more confident.
Oh no, I forgot to make a reservation for Miss Jones. I'm sorry. My mother-in-law pretended to look surprised and grabbed my hands. The 5 of us went to the restaurant together, but she purposefully didn't save a spot for me.
Honey, there's no need to apologize. We originally made this reservation for our son and grandson. We don't need to include strangers.
My father-in-law encouraged his wife as he laughed loudly.
Hey, Emery, be sure to pay the bill. How great is it to treat your family to a meal?
After my husband Jose spoke, my in-laws laughed even louder. Their classless laughter didn't match the quiet atmosphere of this expensive restaurant. My son, Liam, looked at me uncomfortably. I wanted to flip the table they were sitting at, but I had no energy to fight them anymore, and I didn't want my precious son to have to see that. I sighed and turned around. Fine.
I'll watch over Liam, so don't worry.
Bye, Emery Jones. Even after marrying her son, my mother-in-law always called me by my maiden name, Jones. Today, she said it again with an annoying smile on her face. She always harassed me like this, but...
Excuse me.
As I held back tears and went to pay at the front counter, a waiter suddenly grabbed my hand. Huh?
Miss Jones, no way.
It had never occurred to me that this could happen. To think that I got to meet him again, thanks to a waiter noticing what my mother-in-law said as she harassed me. From that moment on, my life completely changed. When did my married life first start falling apart? I lived together with my husband Jose and son Liam. The happy life we lived in our 3-bedroom apartment is a story from the past. I first met Jose in university. He looked like a model and had a way with words, so there were many girls chasing after him. The fact he chose me must have meant he really liked me, right? Jose was the type that always put himself first. He hid that very well, but as we became closer, I quickly found out. I can be indecisive and feel most secure when I'm following people. I was surprised when Jose confessed his feelings to me, but thinking about it now, it must be because he liked my weak personality. As we were dating, I began to question his personality, but since such a great person chose me, I told myself not to be too picky. After we graduated university, my doubts became stronger. Thanks to his father's help, Jose was hired by a large company and was given preferential treatment. He was an only son, so his parents definitely spoiled him. My father-in-law's acquaintance managed an apartment building, so he gave us a solid discount on our rent. I assumed that my in-laws were upset. Jose had chosen me because they had taken care of and arranged everything so well for him so far. My in-laws despised me. I will never forget the contemptuous look in their eyes when we first met. Hey, don't you think your parents really hate me?
Really? You don't need to pay attention to them. You're not marrying them, you're marrying me.
At the time, Jose sounded strangely reliable, so I made the mistake of listening to him and thinking that it would be okay. Jose and I got married, but his parents still didn't accept me as part of their family. Even now, they still call me by my maiden name. A year after getting married, I gave birth to our son, Liam. Without Liam, I would have given up a long time ago. For the first year after Liam was born, my in-laws' attitude slightly changed. They were really happy to be having their first grandchild, and my mother-in-law even thanked me for giving birth to Liam. Those were the first and last words of gratitude I'd ever hear from her. Once Liam turned 2 years old, things returned to how they used to be, if not worse. If my in-laws visited our home, they would only look at Jose and Liam. Jose was also cheating on me while I was busy with Liam. No matter how many times I thought to myself that I want to escape, I decided I should stay with Jose until Liam becomes an adult. I told myself that even a father like Jose was better than Liam not having a father at all. But then one day, it was the weekend and my in-laws had come over to play with Liam as usual. As they were leaving in the evening, they said something surprising.
Oh, right. Let's have a birthday party for Jose next week. I made a reservation at King. King? That's the restaurant our CEO's son manages, right? I've heard it's really hard to get a reservation there. Yeah, I made a special request to the CEO for you. My father-in-law proudly said to Jose. I expected that they'd want to go somewhere without me like they did last year, but my mother-in-law turned to me. So, you should keep your schedule open too. Huh? As I was still collecting myself from my shock, my in-laws left. I didn't understand what was going on, but this could be the first step of us fixing our relationship. I became somewhat hopeful. It was the day of Jose's birthday. We all gathered at the restaurant. Hearing that it was a high-class restaurant, I imagined a huge place, but it was actually pretty small. It was the type of place that only a select few customers could eat in at the same time. My father-in-law seemed very proud of himself. As we were entering, I saw a large engraved stone sign that said King. Seeing that name brought up some old memories, and I began to feel nostalgic. Thinking about it, there was a guy named King in high school. I began to smile without realizing. We were shown to a table in a private room. However, the table in the room had only 4 chairs. The waiter nervously turned to us. I'm sorry, I will get one more chair for you. Oh, don't worry, 4 chairs are enough.
The waiter looked confused, but I immediately understood what my father-in-law was trying to say. My mother-in-law chimed in. Oh no, I forgot to make a reservation for Mrs. Jones. I'm sorry. My mother-in-law pretended to look surprised and grabbed my hands. The 5 of us went to the restaurant together, but she purposefully didn't save a spot for me.
Honey, there's no need to apologize. We originally made this reservation for our son and grandson. We don't need to include strangers.
My father-in-law encouraged his wife as he laughed loudly.
Hey, Emery, be sure to pay the bill. How great is it to treat your family to a meal?
After my husband Jose spoke, my in-laws laughed even louder. Their classless laughter didn't match the quiet atmosphere of this expensive restaurant. My son Liam looked at me uncomfortably. I wanted to flip the table they were sitting at, but I had no energy to fight them anymore, and I didn't want my precious son to have to see that. I sighed and turned around. Fine.
I'll watch over Liam, so don't worry.
Bye, Emery Jones. I heard more laughter behind me as I exited the room. I headed towards the exit as I wiped away tears that suddenly began rolling down my cheeks. The waiter that walked out of the room with me suddenly grabbed my hand.
Excuse me? Are you Mrs. Emery Jones?
Huh? Yeah. About the bill.
There's no need for you to take care of the bill. Please, follow me.
I wondered what was going on, but I didn't pull away my hand and follow the waiter. Even as we walked further away from the private dining room, I could still hear my father-in-law's loud voice.
It'll be so expensive that she won't be able to pay for it. She'll probably start crying.
If she can't afford to pay, she should wash dishes. As we headed towards a staff room, I breathed a sigh of relief because I finally couldn't hear my in-laws' conversation anymore. But why did the waiter take me here? He opened the door as I was getting more worried. A tall man with a pouty face stood in front of me. I recognized him from somewhere. Who could it be? I gazed at him seriously and he raised an eyebrow. From that gesture, it hit me. Are you King?
Yeah, it's sure been a while, Emery.
The restaurant King was named after my friend from high school, King. King smiled and then became serious.
Emery, can you leave them to me?
Them? Do you mean my husband and in-laws?
Yeah, let's go there now.
He took my hand and wordlessly pulled me towards the private dining room. King opened the door with a bang. Everyone immediately turned to look at him. My father-in-law stood up and gave an amicable smile.
Oh, it's Chef King. You have a really serious look on your face. Did something happen? It's about Emery.
My in-laws looked shocked. King and I were classmates in high school. King was really rebellious at the time, and he skipped school often. After something happened, we began talking to each other and became friends. Though he looked aggressive, he was actually a very kind guy. After hearing what King said, my in-laws' faces both went blue.
Oh, we didn't intend to. Then please explain to me what you were trying to do.
Jose spoke up with a pathetic voice and stepped over to us. Turning to see what Jose was looking at, I saw an older man who looked like King coming towards us. I wanted to burst out into laughter, but the atmosphere in the room was intense.
Were you the people who treated my son's friend so rudely? But, boss, what happened? Won't you explain? He's wrong. There's been a misunderstanding. Hey, Emery, say something. I asked you, not Emery. I don't need rude employees like you. Don't come to our office anymore. No way! Wait, please, give me a chance. I'm incredibly sorry. Please, forgive us.
The two of them desperately apologized, and my mother-in-law began crying. Liam came over to me. He was scared, and he had tears in his eyes. I told him not to be scared and patted his head. With some time, he finally calmed down and smiled again.
If you're really sincere, you should prove it with your actions. Clean the restaurant after we close tonight. People with dirty hearts like yours should learn how to clean.
King and his father took Liam and I to a separate room and gave us an incredible meal. The food was amazingly delicious, though King acted very humbly. They even made a special kids meal for Liam.
Liam, your mom is a great person.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you probably do. Do you want me to tell you a story?
King began sharing a story from the past. King hated studying when we were in high school. His parents were elites, but he was horrible at studying, so he had a very low opinion of himself and felt like he didn't belong in his family. He skipped class so many days that he was at the verge of getting expelled. One day, King and I were in the same group for a cooking assignment in home ec class. Can I try this? Wow, it's delicious! You're so good at seasoning food.
I did it randomly.
No way! I saw how many times you sampled the food. There's no way it was random. I didn't think much of what I said, but that was the first time King had ever received a compliment. Thanks to that, King began studying cooking. Of course, he didn't become a pro immediately. He made many mistakes along the way.
I'm really useless.
You're not useless, you just need to be creative with your cooking.
Huh?
No matter what kind of delicious ingredients you use, if they aren't cooked well, they won't taste good. Measure portions properly. try different combinations, or let things sit overnight once in a while.
Creative.
Similarly, no matter what kind of talent one has, it doesn't mean everything they make will be perfect. So, you need to be creative. That made King finally realize. He started to aim at being a pro, and he eventually became a world-renowned chef. From then on, King's relationship with his parents improved. But after hearing the whole story, I have to admit that I didn't get it. Did I really say something like that?
Did you forget?
Mom, you're amazing! King's story didn't stop there. He spoke to his employees about me many times. So when the waiter heard my name, he recognized it and knew he had to save me. So, the store name wasn't by chance.
Yeah, you're the one who once wrote my name with a C instead of a K, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't do it on purpose.
No, I'm happy that happened. You're the only person who paid attention to me then. I thought that writing the restaurant name with a C would make it stand out and be easier to remember. So, thank you.
One of the waitstaff called to King, and he exited the room. I thought over what I said to King back then. I should also be creative with my life. If I don't do my best, of course, things won't turn out how I want them to. Looking over at Liam, I made up my mind. I will divorce Jose and start my life from scratch. 1 year later...
Hey!
King! Liam rushed to hug King, who had come over to visit. King hugged Liam back and smiled. After that time at the restaurant, King and I began seeing each other often and started dating. We're now considering getting married. I haven't talked to Liam about it yet, but I'm sure that he'll be happy. Liam was so attached to King that I was convinced of this. After that incident, my ex-father-in-law and Jose were both demoted. They screamed to their bosses for forgiveness. Large companies like theirs have complicated HR processes, so they haven't been fired yet. They're still holding on somehow in the company's shadows. King and I watched over Liam as he peacefully slept after getting tired out from playing with King. Liam is worried because he's not good at studying. He's tried his hand at cooking to be like you, but things didn't go well and he got even more sad.
Really? Isn't he very athletic?
Yeah. The other day, he got first place in a sprinting contest at school.
No need to worry about him then.
King and I made eye contact and smiled. I've always wanted to enjoy quiet time with my partner like this.
I will teach Liam the way you taught me. Everything is good at different things.
That's right. Thank you, King. King kindly patted Liam's head with his large hands. He really looked like they could be father and son.